Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have a beer from Wild Onion Brewing out of Chicago. Well, I think they're around Chicago. Sorry, I shouldn't say Chicago. Lake Barrington, Illinois. The only reason I said Chicago is because I heard of these guys. I know they've been at FOBAB before, which is in Chicago. It's a barrel age festival that I go to every year. Other than that, I really don't know anything about these guys, to be honest. But this beer is called Drago. It's pretty obvious. It's from Ivan Drago from Rocky IV. Bourbon Barrel Russian Imperial Stout. 9.5 ABV. And yeah, it's like I said, it's from Wild Onion Brewery. To me, it's just a weird name because I would not want the thought of onions in my beer name because, I mean, I like onions, but it's just a weird thing to associate my beer with. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe it's just me. So, crack this open and see what we got. Something. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty dark. That's pretty jet black with it. Oops, with a. I mean that's beyond tan. That's getting to a light brown head. It's very. It's pretty dark. I'm impressed a little bit. I will say, even for a 9.5%er. It looks pretty cloying and thick, which is awesome. You know, 9.5% is huge, but for some of these stouts nowadays, it's really not. And I know a lot of people think like if something's in single digit ABV, it's not going to be that thick or whatever, which I generally think is bullshit. But it seems to be the case sometimes. You know. But then you got Bell's, like if you look at Expedition, it's just over 10, and it's one of the thickest beers ever, so, you know, there's something to be said for that, but, yeah, so let's see what it smells like. That smells really good. It smells a lot better than I was expecting, to be honest. Not that I had heard anything bad about these guys, just that I hadn't really heard anything about this beer, so I wasn't necessarily expecting anything great. But there's a pretty good amount of spirit, but it's not like, I mean, it's definitely oaky and bourbony. It's not just straight liquor, and it's not, you know, it doesn't burn in the nostrils either. It's certainly present, but it's not overwhelming at all. There's actually a good bit of fudgy character to it as well. Like dark chocolate cake batter, you know. A little bit of roast and dark fruit in there too. But I gotta admit, I'm really impressed by the nose on this, and it's really making me want to dive in. So let's see what we got. That's pretty tasty. Wow. I gotta admit, I wasn't expecting much from this. Not that I thought it was going to be bad, because I don't know anything about these guys, but just generally, if it, you know, because barrel-aged Imperial Stouts are such a big thing now, if you don't hear anything about them, or know anything about the brewery, like, there's small breweries that are making good IPAs, and it's just there's so many breweries that are doing it, and it's hard to know about them. But usually, like the really good Imperial Stouts, people find out about them because they don't make them as often. So you just know. But I hadn't heard anything about this guy, but this is pretty good. The flavor really follows suit with the nose. I would say there's slightly less bourbon in the taste than the nose. Maybe I don't know. The flavor is actually probably on point with it, the nose itself, but I was expecting it to actually be a little hotter than it is, given the nose, which is probably a good thing for most people. It's not for me, it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just, it is what it is. It's fairly sweet. The body, I would say, for an Imperial Stout is, it's not super thick, but it's not thin either. I would say it's medium bodied for an Imperial Stout. All right. So in that second taste, I got more of the spirit heat, but there is a lot of just like dark chocolate, baker's chocolate cake batter to it, which, I mean, it is not to the same level of complexity, but just the flavors in and of itself is actually reminding me of a barrel-aged voodoo beer. I mean, the beer itself is not as big, it's not as viscous, and the depth of the barrel aging is not to the same level as voodoo, but it's, you can tell this. I don't even know if it says on the let me see. Oh, wow. It says it's aged for 8 months, which to me, for the depth of the barrel aging this has, I'm surprised it's only 8 months, to be honest. That's pretty impressive. Like I said, it's not the same level as voodoo, but they're doing shit for almost 2 years, which is incredible. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm blown away at how good this is based on not knowing anything about it. And it is definitely, I'm kind of glad that I saved this for the end of the night, because I'm just going to sip this slowly. It's a really nice sipper, and it's very good. And thank you to whoever, but someone, this was an extra. I don't remember who it was, so I can't call them out, unfortunately. But I was just like, I like getting stout extras, but, barrel-aged Imperial Stout extras don't happen very often. And when they do, sometimes I get iffy, because I'm like, well, if they're just throwing that in as an extra, like, is it not very good? I don't know. Yeah, I'm really impressed by this. Like, now I'm really curious how much this costs, because it's in a 12-ounce bottle. I mean, if this thing is less than $10, I'm thinking it might be, because I think this is a small random brewery that no one goes after that much. This is definitely a buy. Like I said, it's not the best barrel-aged Imperial Stout ever, but we're just never hearing of it. It's pretty impressive. And like I said, I've had their stuff at Fobab before, but in the midst of everything that's barrel aged, I mean, this probably wouldn't stand out, only because the body's not that big. So you just got all these barrel aged Imperial Stouts, and I could see this kind of getting lost in the shuffle. But that doesn't mean, if you drink a kind of shitty one before this, it's going to pull down what I think of this, because I just have that general bourbon stout taste in my mouth. So it's nice to have one of these beers just, by itself. Yeah, this is, like I said, I don't know what it costs, so I can't judge it off of that, but I'm guessing it's something crazy. But I wouldn't go out of my way to try to get it. Like, if I could get it by not trading anything crazy, but trading locals, I would definitely do that. I wouldn't trade anything crazy for it, because it's not necessarily better than the highly acclaimed ones. But to me, it's close. So if you can get it from someone who lives in that area by just trading locals or something, like, I would absolutely do it. It's pretty good. So yeah, this is definitely a buy for me. I'm glad I cracked this guy open, and I might have to try to get some more stuff from these guys, or get more of this beer in general, because it's pretty tasty. So anyways, I think that's it for this beer. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.